Here on CBS Sports HQ, we can almost put a bow on Week 6 in the NFL. We're looking at some scores so far from Sunday. How about the Carolina Panthers, man? I did not have this on my bingo card. Rico Dowdle, he saw his ex. He said, I'm going to show out against the Dallas Cowboys, and boy, did he. They get the win. The Jacksonville Jaguars, my squad, man, they showed up on Monday Night Football against Kansas City, and then they just didn't know how to act against Seattle, losing at home in Duval, and then KC really beating Detroit 30-17, and then, of course, we had some post-game theatrics that were going on there as well. So we have a Monday Night Football double dipper on deck here. We have the Bills and the Falcons, the Commanders and the Bears. A lot of fireworks. We certainly saw that the last time that the Commanders and the Bears matched up last season in 2024. So we're hoping for that as football fans, right, for this go around. All right, back here on the set, I'm Jacqueline D'Agostino. We have a special treat. We have Charles Davis in the house on set with Ran Carthon as well. Guys, it's great to be here with you. Charles, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and that just tells me this is a slow day here. Right? Let everybody
Absolutely not.
This is like take anyone to work day,
No,
and here I am.
This is our
I am
reward
thrilled.
that we get to be with greatness.
I am thrilled.
100%.
Hey, that's how I feel about you guys. This is fantastic. Great to see you in person.
Yes.
And Rand and I go way back.
Such kind words, considering we are Florida Gators, and CD. We know
we're
you're
good
in
right
Tennessee.
now.
Yeah,
It's
we're good
not
right
our
now.
week.
It's coming.
It's not our week. We're late. It's weird. It's later in the schedule this year.
I know.
It's a very strange time.
I'm
but
not
we'll
looking
take it.
forward to it. But something I am looking forward to, we have the Bills and the Falcons here on Monday Night Football. And it's really like this Bills offense going up against this Falcons defense, right? Buffalo, their fourth primetime game this season, which is not surprising, right? When Josh Allen is your quarterback. They're 8-2 in their last 10 primetime games. So, Charles, I'll come to you first. Do you think that dominance, when the lights are brightest, kind of continues here for Josh Allen and the crew?
I think it does, but I don't know that it's as dominant in terms of just like score and how it goes in the ball game. I think they find a way to win it because, frankly, they didn't play very well last time out in the prime time, and New England stung them. A lot of their own errors, fumbles, a lot of things that you don't normally see out of Buffalo. Didn't play well. But Ram, what I'm looking at in this one is if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I'm looking at Bijan Robinson, I'm looking at Tyler Algier, and I'm saying, guys, the numbers at this stage of the season don't lie to us. And that means Buffalo's run defense, which has not been terrific. I'm going to take every shot I can at that run defense and see if that helps me along the way in this ballgame.
And to that point, establishing the run will now keep Josh Allen off the field. And it'll shorten the game and allow you to dominate time of possession and give him as few opportunities as possible to have a chance to affect the outcome of the game. And you talked about the Buffalo's run defense. They're 28th in the league right now and giving up 145 rushing yards per game, whereas Atlanta's run offense is 6th, averaging 136 yards per game. And so that, to me, is going to be the key to this ball game. But, Jacqueline, you said it at the start. Good versus good. This good Atlanta defense against this good Buffalo offense. We're talking about multiple categories where Atlanta's number one and Buffalo somewhere in the top 5. So this is going to be good on good, but it's still going to always come down to, can you stop the run game? Can this Buffalo defense, which is a little lighter up front because a lot of their defense is about speed, quickness, penetration, disruption, but can you stop this physical Atlanta run offense? That's going to be the key to the game for me.
All right, Atlanta, you heard it. Run the dang ball, all right?
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, I promise you.
Well said, Leanne Tui.
No, thank you so much. I had to edit it a little bit for television, you know. Let's go to Josh Allen, right? And guys, this is interesting because I had a conversation with Lige and Pete Prisco, I think last week, and we were doing MVP rankings so far. And Josh Allen was not on either list for either of the guys. And their argument was like, hey, I think we'll see the best of Josh Allen. We haven't seen that out of him so far. Rand, do you think that it kind of gets going here? Like this is maybe the starting point where we really start to see Josh Allen be Josh Allen, the reigning MVP?
So it's so funny that we're having this conversation because we just got off the With the First Pick podcast and we were having an MVP conversation.
Okay.
And so Jonathan Jones and I were going back and forth. I have Josh Allen right now at number 2. in terms of the MVP race for myself. I have Baker Mayfield at 1, and simply because Baker Mayfield has his team at 5-1 without a ton of people, without his starting offensive line, without his top 4 wide receivers, without his starting running back, and he has his team in position every week to win a football game because he put the team on his shoulders, and they are winning because of Baker Mayfield and not with. And I think the same thing about Josh Allen, but Josh Allen just has more around him. And if you look at the way he performed last year, his offensive line stayed healthy for the most part of the year, which is key for any football team, any quarterback. And so right now, I think Baker Mayfield is just doing more with less, which is why I have him above Josh Allen.
Yeah, which is interesting because last year going into the season, the whole idea was Josh Allen didn't have anything around him, but guys developed, guys got better. Khalil Shakir emerged as a top receiver for him. Now Dalton Kincaid has come back and become the #1 draft pick they needed at tight end. The offensive line, as Rand noted, they've only had the one missed game, which was Spencer Brown missing with a calf injury a few weeks ago against New Orleans. Rest of the time, they stay intact and they do their thing. But to me, another part of why Rand, I believe, has him at #2 is he's more than numbers, right? What Josh Allen does for that team is carry them in so many different ways. He ascended to that apex level of quarterbacking where, what does my team need from me today?
Yeah.
To win this ball game? Does it mean 5 touchdown passes? Okay, I'll give it to you. Does it mean just running the football? Okay, I'll give it to you. Does it mean playing ball control? That's what you're going to get out of him right now. Threw his first interception last week. All right, that was against New England. First time he turned the ball over all year long. You remember early in his career, he was a turnover machine. Those days are long gone. So I can see why he stays up there, but also why he's overlooked because the flash hasn't been there. But guess what? Bigger the game, you're going to get that flash from him.
Absolutely. He shines and the lights are certainly bright. I want to go to the Falcons. They're coming off a bye, and it's kind of been some inconsistency from this offense. It's hard to believe sometimes that this is the same offense that was shut out in Week 3 by the Carolina Panthers. So, Charles, how do they find that consistency here?
Well, Rand gave us the blueprint right off the top. To go to your strength, being able to run the ball. They have an offensive line that's very good, that people really don't know much about and talk about. But Chris Lindstrom's about as good as it gets at the guard position. Jake Matthews at tackle has just been holding it down. You know what I call Jake Matthews? He's Anthony Costanzo.
Yeah.
The longtime left tackle with the Colts that no one had any problems with, maybe never made a Pro Bowl. But guess what? As soon as he was gone, hey, we need a left tackle. What's going on with the left tackle position? Because he had it handled so well. Jake Matthews, I think, has been to 1 Pro Bowl in his career, but he's been that guy and been really good consistently. So I think that Rand's got the blueprint for it. Settle things down with the run game and let Michael Penix throw off of that, especially when you find that big horse named Drake London.
Yeah, I mean, you have Bijan Robinson, who arguably is a top 10, top 15 talent in this league. And to me, behind Saquon Barkley, he is one of the more dynamic runners, and you can put Jonathan Taylor in that category. But the reason why I would put him right behind Saquon Barkley is because of the effect he can have on the game, in the passing game, and the multiple things that you could do with him. And so to me, it's really simple. You have a top 5 defense, right? Top 3 potentially. Just turn around and hand it off to the guy in the backfield. He's young. You're not going to tire him out. No. He'll be fine. But again, in this game in particular, if you don't want Josh Allen to pull out the cape and become Superman, you have to keep him off the field, and that's by turning around, whether it's Tyler Algier or Bijan Robinson, you got to hand the ball off.
Yeah. All right, so just to kind of piggyback off of that and circle back to what we were talking about with this Falcons defense against this Bills offense here, because the Falcons defense, we talked about it, they're pretty darn good. They're best in the league in a couple of categories, passing yards allowed. How does it all come to a head, Rand, we're talking about limiting Josh Allen on the field, but how does the defense do that as well when he's actually on the field?
Well, see, here's the way this defense has been built. They spent the 2 first-round picks on pass rushers, and not just any pass rushers. We're talking about young guys who can run, young guys who play with their hair on fire, and now you're able to create these packages like with the Jalen Walker. You could put him as a spinner, walk him around. It's almost like he can spy, if you will, on Josh Allen. But then you look at what they've done in the secondary with Billy Bowman and Xavier Watts. And Billy Bowman, who was a safety in college, he's now playing a nickel. You have these movable pieces in this defense that now you can move around and hopefully hopefully confuse Josh Allen. But I just think as a defensive team, they have more speed than they've ever had. Well, I'm not going to say than they've ever had, but more speed than they've had in a while. And that's what's going to negate Josh Allen being able to run.
Yeah, perfect breakdown of everything there. The only thing I'm going to add is for these young guys who play with their hair on fire, I know you want to go get Josh Allen, but you better find James Cook first, okay? As much as we talk about Josh Allen, what he does and everything that happens, James Cook, or Jimbo as Josh calls him, he gives them a dimension they haven't had in a while. Can run the football inside, can run it to the perimeter, can catch it out of the backfield. He's that extra dimension now that if you're going to go get Josh, make sure you're playing the run on your way to the quarterback.
All right, so finally, we're going to put you guys on the spot with a game pick because, as mentioned, the Bills 8-2 in their last 10 primetime games. Charles, how do you think it ultimately goes down?
I think the Bills go in there and win this ball game. They had a really rough one the last time out against New England. Frankly, they didn't play all that great against New Orleans either. Had enough to win the ball game. I think they've spent the last couple of weeks with Sean McDermott saying, all right, guys, let's make sure we get this thing wrapped up and done the way we want to. I think they find a way to do it. And they are used to prime time, as you pointed out, Jacqueline. Any team in this league, everybody wants to play Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern because you have consistency. But if you're playing Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern more times than not, you're not a good football team. The good football teams know how to handle Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night, go over across to London, come back, play a game. They're the best ones in the league. Buffalo's one of those teams.
Yeah, and I'm going with Buffalo as well. And, again, it's just because of the guy that we keep talking about in Josh Allen. And I'm glad you brought up James Cook. We're down here in South Florida kid I've seen play since high school. And he's a guy that can have an impact on this game in a way that when Josh Allen, when they're in the gun, and then they're able to do the RPO-type looks, and because everyone's going to be keying on Josh Allen, James Cook can hit a crease. All he needs is a small crease, and he could have an effect on this game. So I'm going with Buffalo.
All right, the guys are in agreement. They're going with Buffalo tonight. That is just one of two Monday Night Football games that we have on deck. But hey, in the meantime, when Ran is on a promo, we're going to run it as many times as we can. Because, Charles, I don't know if you know this, but the first couple of weeks of the season, Ran was left off of the promo.
What?
So they had to add him in.
I was peeking in the back.
You couldn't make his number, huh?
I don't know what was going on.
Couldn't make his number with his agent. He's like, until you hit that number,
I wouldn't clear the picture.
There would be no promo until you hit my number.
That is it's all in the past. Ran is back on the promo with the crew. Game day recap right here on CBS Sports HQ. Make sure you check it out. And BMAC might even send the crew some cookies once again. Yeah. All right.
Thank you,
I got to visit more often then.
Thank you, BMAC.